So we're here today at the Causeway. The Causeway is a really old development in Canberra that's now entirely a sort of an enclave of community housing, public housing. The Kingston Foreshore development is encroaching on it, and I think eventually these places will all go. And this will be redeveloped entirely. See, as I understood it, originally there were cottages here. Commonwealth property, really. Originally there were cottages here which were tarted up, given this double brick look you see over here. As I understand it, the residents all want to stay. They oppose being moved on. But the policy of the government now is to have public housing busted up into, have the public housing residents moved into larger complexes mixed up with people who are paying rent and owning. It was a good idea with some of the bigger public housing flats they had, which were just an absolute shocker. But this isn't bad. I mean, people are house proud. I think, with the exception of these people up here. Let's keep walking, and we'll get down to the model railway. No, not the model. The railway historical people. The preserved railway engines. Over here is the railway station. Can't see much through there. Canberra railway station's nothing much. I think they get 3 trains a day. Hear an aeroplane taking off. We're pretty close to the airport here. And this area here really needs a tidy up. It's an absolute shambles. Wrecked carriages, junk, it's rubble dumped out there. I see a boat out there. Causeway. Through to the left, if you walk down the hill, there's the wetlands area. Already the roads have been laid out down there, for decades and decades. In many areas, not built on, or they laid out in a street grid pattern. So the Causeway was the only bit that was inhabited. I think at one point there was plans to, have a development down here that was about 6 or 8 times bigger, and that just never happened. Now the Foreshore is there. The Kingston Foreshore development is there. People are going to pay top dollar for this land up here, even though it's, it's beside this wasteland. gate's open, doesn't say private property. I'm going to have a look. Some of these carriages here, the closer ones, look serviceable. I guess they're for moving coal. Others, well and truly past their use by date. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go in there with all the train spotters. Yeah, these are still in service. They do look like they're used for moving bulk materials, perhaps coal. Coal would be the one that makes sense. There's more over here. Let's go and have a look. Black Hawk Security. Here. There used to be a pet shop in the middle of this place. Well, this is interesting. There's a train and a whole bunch of kangaroos. Let's get a bit closer. So the train line, as I understand it, belongs to the New South Wales State Rail Authority. Even though we're in a different jurisdiction here. Makes sense. The ACT government doesn't want to be in the business of running a train line or owning a train station. So that's the Sydney train over there. It's a long way away, you probably can't see it. I'm just going to go and have a quick look. Haven't seen any keep out signs yet. Hippie van. Sign of rain behind us. Thunder. There are some big kangaroos there. Oh no, was that an aeroplane? Yeah, big one. Some big kangaroos there. At one point they used to bring petrol down to Canberra in trains. These look like they're well past it. Sydney train. I think it's still known as the XPT. It's been about 3 decades since I've caught that train to Sydney. It's not a bad option, I think. Drops you off right in the centre of town, and the options from the airport are all pretty grim. You know, pay $300 or $400 to get on some bug smasher that takes an hour to get there, and then you're at the airport. You've got to negotiate all of that nonsense to get out to the city. Here we go. These are all, God almighty. It's a wonder these haven't been set on fire. So we're going to come out of this railway area in a couple of minutes and lob into part of the Kingston Foreshore development, the easternmost extremity. It's just a dumping ground. God knows what's in there. So, I think this is called Printer's Lane, Printer's Way. Was the site of the old government print works. That was all sort of privatised back in the 90s. The land never reallocated. And now it's all private housing and a bit of office space up here on Wentworth Avenue. Garbage truck. Gonna cut through here. A bit noisy around here. Gonna go and check out what's going on in this. This is Printer's Way, yeah. This is the back of the old government print works. Oh, kinds of things used to get printed there. I can remember dropping off proofs there when I was much younger. All the parliamentary Hansard reporting was put in one of those pneumatic tubes and shipped off and laid out and then printed for the next day, as I recall, getting the Hansard. The very next day. So, Kingston Foreshore. Bit of a loop. around back to where we started at the Causeway Community Hall. I imagine that would be a good place for a B&S. I think this is quite nice. I mean, eventually I think that vacant land, that empty land in there and the railway yard's just going to be sold off too, and there'll be some housing there, private housing, but that might take a lot longer. Not seen this place before. Building up ahead's a bit interesting. A vet. Be a few Jack Russells needing attention around here, I think. So we go from this ultra modern, just being fitted out, ultra modern building to the 1950s, 60s, 70s. So that place is already gone. I just wonder who the hell's going to live in these places. Where are all these people coming from? It's just an enormous sprawl. Anyway, so these little cottages here are going to get it sooner or later.